So I am going to call to order the Thursday, September 2nd, 2021 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting at 6 p.m. James, would you do a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Vice Chair Taylor, or Vice Chair Dittner, excuse me.
Present.
Commissioner Firestone.
Here.
Is your mic on?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so just to confirm, we did a roll call, and Vice Chair Ittner, Commissioner Firestone, and Commissioner Wilson reported present.
Okay. So we're going to wait until later to swear in Karen
So Karen has been sworn in.
at council.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Sorry. Just wanted to make sure.
Mhm.
All right. Ryan, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Okay, I don't know if do we have any public comments?
No public comments this
Okay.
time around.
We do have a police report, and I'm hoping you will run us through that.
Absolutely, we
Thank
do. We actually have a police report for the month of July as well as the month of August. For the month of July, we'll go ahead and begin at the skate park. We had a report of a juvenile was causing disturbance by setting off fireworks. Deputies did arrive on scene, however, were unable to establish a crime. There was also a call for service to keep the peace. There was a report of a male yelling at skaters in the area. Additionally, there was a report of vandalism in the bathroom. Vandalism was noted to be under $400 with the term guapo. The suspect is not known, but PD is looking into that. Additionally, there was a call for service to keep the peace. Transient was causing a disturbance in the area. 2 adult males were arrested for possession of alcohol. For the skate park, there was a total of 5 service calls and 3 extra patrols reported and 2 arrests. Now, one of the things in reference to the extra patrols, Sergeant Cadman noted that extra patrols are only reported when deputies report being at that area. They could be doing a patrol, but not necessarily report. So extra patrols are being done, but not always logged, if that makes sense there.
Does that, if they were to stop and do their paperwork, how would that be logged?
That's a great question. I'm not sure if it actually is being logged, but I could definitely go ahead and look into it. Yeah, I can inquire with Chief Rivera. I know that that's one of the things that he was going to go ahead and encourage deputies to go ahead and do, as discussed, to go ahead and establish a presence as well as build a relationship with the park goers there. For Libby Park, as we go through the report, because we do have 2 months, would you like me to go detail by detail or just kind of do a summary?
I'm okay with the summary, but how?
I think the summary is fine.
Yeah.
Are these posted?
They are posted and they are part of the agenda, so our community members do have access to the reports as well. Sure.
Summary is
So-
fine.
Perfect. So for Libby Park, there was a total of 9 calls for service and 13 extra patrols. In the park, there was 2 citations. The most notable one, let me go ahead and take a quick look here. Oh, excuse me, that was for the month of August. I was thinking there was a fire at Libby Park, but that was for the month of August, and we'll cover that just in a bit. For Cerzuti Park, there was a little bit more calls than traditional. There was a total of 10 calls for service, 1 extra patrol, and there was no arrests or citations. Police department did know that there was nothing significant. However, there was a little bit more calls than normal for the month of July at Cerzuti Park. For the month of August, at the skate park, there was a total of 11 calls for service, 2 extra patrols, and 1 citation. For Libby Park, there was a total of 13 service calls, 3 extra patrols, and 2 citations. And as indicated earlier, most notably, there was a report of a fire over at at Libby Park. Initially, what happened is deputies arrived on scene, and they witnessed a man frantically waving his hands. Deputies ran over, got their fire extinguisher, and were able to go ahead and put out the fire before it caused any significant damage. And that deputy was recognized by City Council during the last council meeting for his heroic efforts there. Over at Cerzuti Park, there was a total of 3 service calls and 3 extra patrols. Here, on the month of August, as requested during the last meeting, we did do a chart with the total service calls, extra patrols, and as well as arrests and citations. So we broke that down in 2 different graphs, and this is something we could definitely go ahead and cover as we get a little bit further on agenda item number B, as far as the layout of the reports in case the commission wishes to go ahead and change that layout. Any questions in reference to the police reports?
Not hearing anyway, I think we'll move on to, thank you for the report.
Of course.
The Public Works report, is that you as well?
That is me as well.
Okay.
So, for Public Works, the city recent events held at Libby Park included the city council meeting. City council meeting has been meeting at Libby Park since August 3rd in response to the recent increase of COVID cases. Chamber of Commerce also held a chess club meet on August 6th, and they also held a concert in the fountain area on August 20th. On August 30th and September 2nd, today, Public Works crew members, they did remove some milk crate cartons. Unfortunately, it seems that the trend has come to Ojai, and some of our youth are doing the milk crate carton challenge. But we are being vigilant and keeping an eye for those and picking up those milk crates whenever they are left behind.
What is that?
A milk crate carton challenge is where milk crate cartons are stacked. So it would begin with 1, 2, 3, and then kids walk over these milk crate crates without attempting not to fall. Unfortunately, most people are not successful in completing that obstacle there, and they do fall. But as mentioned, we are being vigilant, making sure that we try to catch and mitigate that before it continues in any of the park. We want to make sure that all of our park goers are safe and try to keep everybody as safe as possible there. And then additionally, staff did repair the wooden sign over at Vista Park on July 7th. So if you drive by, you'll notice a new sign, the new signs on both ends of the park there, with a little bit more vibrant colors. The signs that were there before were a little bit faded out there. And that concludes the Public Works report.
Is there any news on the multi-sport courts or where that is in its process?
Yes, so in reference to that, we did go ahead and discuss with Crabtree Engineering the scope of the project. They are the engineers that are helping design the project there, and we did go ahead and submit the paperwork for Prop 68 funding. So we're just waiting to go ahead and hear back to see if that's been approved, so that way we can go ahead and move forward with construction.
And so it went to bid, they won the bid, it's been awarded to them, and they're working up a real plan based on all of that. Is that going to come to us just to look at?
Yeah, I can make sure that it comes over to.
Okay, because it sounds like it's ready. It's been prepared?
It's in the process of being prepared.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's being submitted for the grant process?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that'd be great to hear about that, and take a look at it next
Yeah.
time. That's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions regarding Public Works? Okay, thank you for that report.
Mhm.
Okay, City Council Liaison report.
So we don't have a city council staff liaison, excuse me, city council liaison report this time around.
Okay. The only,
Who is our
thing I-
liaison?
So our city council liaison is council member Souza Francina. She did send in her regrets and noted she would be viewing the meeting later on.
Okay, and just one, for staff on our agendas, we had asked that that is on there every month.
Yes.
Who is
I-
going to be the
Yes, I will
representative?
make sure that it's on there next month.
Okay,
It's,
thank you.
mhm.
Did you have more? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, as soon as this was published, I remembered
you
that.
went, "Oh," yeah. We'll get in the habit. Consent items. Our only consent item this month is our minutes. Any comments, corrections?
I just wanted to say that they look really nice. I like this format where there's a summary of what we discussed. I know we've kind of gone back and forth on formats over several years, and I know it takes a lot of time to kind of review the meeting and write that up, but it is really nice, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you.
You're
I do
welcome.
too. That's a great comment. Thanks, Ryan.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as posted.
Perfect.
I'll second.
Second?
Thank you.
Okay. Perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. Motion
Thank you.
passes.
Okay. So we are on to presentations, action, and discussion items. And item A is introduction of new commission member Karen Wilson and youth commissioner Ella Ruff. I will just start with that Ella was not able to be here with us tonight. It sounds like she had a conflict.
That
so
is
we will
correct. Mhm.
Move that forward to next month. And then we get to introduce Karen. Karen, welcome, and we're so excited to have you, and it's wonderful to add a new member to our commission. And I really look forward to getting to know you and working with you. So I would love if you have a moment to take it and introduce yourselves and tell us about what you're interested in and what brought you here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the welcome. I'm very happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this. It was a little bit of a process, but I've been looking forward to this night and this day. I'm relatively new to the Valley. I live in the Miramonte area, just past my 2-year anniversary, and so happy to be here. I'm here because I take advantage of many of the recreational facilities in the city. I'm up here in the morning most days playing pickleball, and just felt like perhaps I had something to offer to continue the work of the city, providing these services not only for the actual residents of Ojai, but all across the valley. And when I thought about it, I realized I've been taking advantage of public recreation facilities since I was a kid in Texas. My brother and I used to ride our bikes up to the community center and tennis lessons and swimming and whatever. And, that's the way my parents kept us from being bored. And then as an adult, I've continued that. And I thought, well, maybe I have enough hands-on experience to contribute. Professionally, I'm a historian. I've taught at UCLA and other universities in the Los Angeles area. I previously had worked in the nonprofit sector as a development director, grant writer.
Oh.
So I have a lot of experience there. And I've been in various leadership positions in various organizations. So hopefully I can bring some of that to this. And my very first real job was a part-time job in the city auditor's office of the city of Dallas. So I've even worked in city government. So I'm hoping that all that will help me make a contribution. And
Well-
again, keep things going here and improving and giving people really healthy things to do.
Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you, and your experiences sound wonderful, and all of your expertise. I look forward to talking to you about it. If you have questions for any of us, reach out. Happy to provide any background that's helpful, or if there are things that come up that you're interested in finding out more, please reach out.
Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I echo that. I think you're going to be a great addition to the commission.
Yeah.
you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Okay, and so 8B is police reports, which
Mhm.
is specific to looking at the format and the
Mhm.
information as it's presented, and if there's any comments from the commission as to what's working, what might be improved, or if there are any requests. So, do you want to talk more about that, or?
No, I think that's pretty much it. The only thing I would go ahead and note is, as mentioned earlier, the extra reports. I don't know if those are always true figures. Again, that is only calculated based off of when deputies radio in that they're going to be in that area. So if the commission wishes to see a different note there, we can definitely change that out.
Could I just ask I guess I'm not sure if this is commission question or staff question, but what is the intended purpose of collecting this data? In other words, is there a particular, is it informational, or is there some other goal in mind? And why this information in particular?
It's a good question. And I would say it's informational, and it's new. We have historically had officers come and present to us just a kind of a broad strokes of what's happened in the last month, and we could ask questions back and forth. That dropped off, and it was harder to get, and now with all of the, meetings being on, meetings being off, we've had less of that. And there was a request from commission, in particular interest from certain commissioners, to see more of what was happening out in the community and what kinds of calls were happening each month. So this was in response to a request from the commission to have information provided to us ahead of time so we could look at it, and then if we had questions, it would be an opportunity to ask them. Ryan, do you have?
Yeah, and that's right. I think in the past, we had this kind of inconsistent reporting of things. We'd have a police officer show up sometimes to some meetings and not to others, and it was verbal. And then I don't know when it was, like half a year ago, at some point we actually got a written list of everything, and it was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. But there was no way of knowing, is that a lot relative to, normal, or was just because we hadn't seen it in a consistent format. And so we did find it very informative to just kind of see the list of all the calls.
It's also been helpful when there have been community concerns about certain locations or certain facilities. The hope is that if we have more data and can look at this, we can put it, kind of in perspective and see how we might be able to help and change some of the things that aren't working if they're, and make recommendations based on that kind of information.
So just to follow up, so we have the skate park, Libby Park, and Cerzuti Park.
Mhm.
Are the other parks, or are they covered as well? Or is these the specific areas that you want to focus on?
That's a great question. And actually, this is a question that was brought up during the last meeting. If memory serves me right, we wanted to go ahead and look at all the other areas, City Hall campus, Cliff Vista Park, and that's something that I'm working with the Sheriff's Office so they can go ahead and report on. They indicated that information would be available on the next meeting. To my understanding, it's not as simple as just plugging in, the address and pulling up the report. It's a little bit more complex, but they did indicate that they're going to go ahead and try to get that information for those other locations during the next meeting.
Any other questions or comments or format requests? Or the only thing I'm thinking is your first comment that you made regarding it's based on what's logged.
Mhm.
You may just want to note that in there. I
Mhm.
mean, I hear it and will remember it, but for the
Mhm.
public, it might be, somewhere down there, just
Yeah, that's-
note that these calls, so that we're representing what this is representative of, so we don't understate.
Yeah, that's it. Good feedback. Thank you.
And I think this looks really good.
Yeah.
I think it has the
Okay.
information that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And it's in a nice format. It's easy to read.
Okay. Are the bar graphs okay? Any requests for like a pie chart or anything like that? Initially, it would be the same information, just a different different view, so to speak.
I think these look good.
Yeah, I do
And
too.
I
Okay.
think for this kind of information, bar charts are very, it makes it very clear.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and continue with this format, and I'll definitely go ahead and make a note. That's a great recommendation, that that the extra patrols are only indicated when they phone in, or when they report in.
Okay. Yeah, this is great. Thank you. Put
Mhm.
it together fast, and I appreciate all the work. Okay, so item C, 8C is joint meeting with city council. We have a yearly joint meeting with council where it's our commission and the council, and we hold it in here, and we all sit down together and put together an agenda and work on it together. It's been different things, different years. We often make a presentation, but tonight is we're the beginning of the discussion of what we would like to present and talk about and put on the agenda for that meeting.
Yeah.
Do you
And-
want to?
Sure, and one of the things that I would just like to go ahead and note for members of the public is one of the items that was presented to the commission was a copy of the 2018 and 2019 joint meeting agenda with council. And I will go ahead and share my screen so that way members of the public have an opportunity to go ahead and view what the commission is going to be seeing. But ultimately, from my understanding during the last meeting, is that the commission was still interested in putting together a short presentation and then focusing on certain items that the commission wanted to discuss more in detail. So at this point, if the commission wants to go ahead and brainstorm and indicate, which items they would like to go ahead and focus on, we can definitely go ahead and put that down. I was thinking for the presentation, we can do a recreation update, kind of keep it as we've done in past years, but just a condensed version if that's something that the commission wishes to do.
I think it's an odd year.
Mhm.
A lot has changed. Things have started and stopped. I think it might be nice to have a chronology of openings and closings and addings of activities, and just a look at all of that we've gone through in this year
Mhm.
and what we've offered, and, in broad strokes, but I think to capture, I don't know how aware everyone is of all that's happened, all that's been done from the recreation perspective to try and adapt and move
Mhm.
forward. And I really would like to highlight staff
Okay.
and staff efforts and all the successes that I think we had within a difficult setting. Ryan, do you guys have any comments on?
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think kind of the chronology of what's been offered and participation. I think staffing too. There's been a
Yes.
lot of staffing changes, and so it's kind of nice to kind of see that. I guess it's kind of what we're thinking going forward.
Yeah.
I think as far as activities, there's like the activities that the rec department's offered, as well as everything else that it has gone on at Cerzuti Park and
Sure.
at Daly Park through
Yeah.
the rec department.
Yeah, absolutely. We could definitely go ahead and include that in the presentation. Is there any particular items that the commission wishes to discuss with council? And in particular, in the past, I think we've discussed the Cerzuti Master Plan, CIP, Livy Bowl, like the different activities that take place there. Looking at the 2019 agenda, it looks like commission activities. I know it's been a little bit of an odd year, so
Yeah.
it is a little bit limited on what we can report. But again, if the commission wishes to identify certain
Yeah.
items, we can definitely.
I think it would be nice. I definitely would like to revisit the CIP. I don't think it's the first thing, but I think
Mhm.
it's something we need to have on there, and we need to bring back before then and discuss how we want to talk about it and the things we want to highlight, if that's comfortable for everybody.
Mhm.
But make that one of the items. I think staffing is an issue, and moving forward and, discussing the priorities and goal, where we're looking to go with council, because I think that's where we have a lot of interplay on, on that point, but,
I think Cerzuti Park update on kind of master plan items and where we are with the multi-sport court in particular. And this feeds into the CIP, but what's kind of next in our view? Because I get that question a lot from people.
Yeah.
You guys made this plan, like when's it all
When's it
gonna
gonna
end?
happen?
Absolutely.
Talk about the timing of those things.
Sure. And I think that those are three great items to go ahead and discuss. From staff recommendation, I think, focusing anywhere between 3 to 5, I think would be appropriate, because I know some topics could be a little bit more extensive than others. So I think, going anywhere between the 3 to 5 would be appropriate, just because the meetings are only about an hour long or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I
Yeah.
ask for a little clarification? So is the purpose of this, and it's an annual meeting, you said, right?
Correct.
So is the purpose, I get the sense that one part of it is to report what's basically been going on with Parks and Rec. And then is the other part to be sort of prospective in the sense of trying to communicate? Is it about a dialogue from the commission, with the commission and the city council on priorities or plans?
It can be.
Okay,
And it can be all of those things. It's a time for us with an opportunity to bring forward what our priorities are, and a time to hear from them, their feedback on those and other things that are on council's mind that, as in regards to recreation and parks.
okay,
And it is a dialogue.
okay. So sort of a perhaps idealistically moving toward a common set of goals and priorities? Is that,
Yeah. I mean, we're an advisory committee
Right.
basically to the city council, but I think it's pretty usual or normal for us not to have a city council member at our meetings. And so this is an opportunity to kind of actually talk to them about what we can be advising them on.
Okay. okay,
So things we might want to bring to their attention and what they are looking for from us that we can help advise or produce.
okay. And is there an expectation that there would be some concrete priorities or concrete goals out of the meeting? Or is that, it's just more like, let's get on the same page?
I would say, through my experiences, it's more of a dialogue. The commission comes away with having heard all that's there, and we can take that back and start working on it.
Okay,
But out of that meeting, you don't come out with a list that everyone's agreed to.
okay. Just.
Yeah, no,
trying to be
these are great
clear.
questions.
Right, okay, thank you.
They're good at clarifying where we're going, too, even here tonight, so I appreciate it.
Perfect. I mean, I think that that's it from my end. I got the 3 items. If there's any others, we can definitely go ahead and add it to the list here, and we can bring this item back next month and fully iron things out, and that way we'll be ready for the joint meeting, which is going to be November. It's going to be.
Oh, it is November.
Yeah, it
So
is
we
November.
only have we have tonight, and then next.
That is correct. Yes.
That's very fast. It's
yeah.
faster than we usually move.
Yeah, so it's going to be the second Tuesday in November, which is going to be Tuesday, November 9th.
Okay, that being said, from my perspective, the recreation program updates, I want to be certain that we have a pickleball report. I would like to be, that chronological openings, closings, where we've been, where we're going.
Okay.
That specifically, some program reports like on gymnastics and a couple of other things that have been able to stably stay open. I think we should highlight those things which have run through. Ryan, do you have other things? Because this is pretty much this will be most of our feedback on this.
Right. A question is like, how up to speed is the council on the rec department? I kind of wonder, because like sometimes, in the past we've spent a lot of time on this kind of like review. And I wonder, is this stuff like they know or they're getting somewhere else, or,
Sure. No, I can't speak on behalf of council because every person is a little bit different, but we do try to share updates periodically of what's going on. One of the things that I've recently, or that I'm working on, is an update for our city manager as far as numbers go compared from 2019 to 2021. And I won't go too much into detail with on it just because the report hasn't been finalized, but aside, the specialty camps offered by the recreation department and aquatics, we are pretty close to 2019 numbers. I think we're about 41 participants off from 2019 numbers. So, I think that couldn't have happened without great staff behind me. So I wanted to give a shout out to Vicky for helping coordinating a lot of the different programs and having all these participants making offerings available for our community. So
Right. So yeah, I think high level things like that are great.
mm-hmm.
I don't know that we have to get into too much detail
Mm-hmm.
just because it can take up a lot
Sure.
of that precious time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we hit some things that we've actually done quite a bit of work on
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that have had some changes, and we want everyone on the same page on
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that's
Perfect.
That's
We'll
good.
make sure to go ahead and add that in there.
all right. And so,
I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead. Yes.
So, given that our next meeting will be the last meeting before the joint meeting, right?
Mhm.
Would it be possible to have sort of a draft of that presentation by the next meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then maybe the questions or the things we want to highlight about the three topics?
Yeah.
Would that be?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my thoughts with this is to go ahead and put something together, a draft format, send it out to the commission, blind copied as we do, not to cause a Brown Act violation. And then during the next meeting, we can, discuss that draft, and then I can take feedback and we can build from there.
That sounds good. In the meantime, would you please send out the CIP?
Mm-hmm.
And by that, I mean the city CIP and the
Mhm.
Parks and Recreation CIP.
Mhm.
That will help, that'll definitely help Karen have that beforehand to see and look at. Cerzuti master plan,
Mhm.
can we get that to Karen as well?
Mhm.
Ryan, what else can you think of that might be helpful? We have some much older plans, which later we should get to, the Libby plan. There's some, but that's the most up to date.
Excuse me, are these things maybe online that I can just access them? I don't,
They
Save you
are
some time?
they are online to save you some time from searching. I'll be happy to go ahead and just email
And I
them
don't know
to you.
that the Parks one is online.
okay.
What we've done is we've taken the CIP and then we've created our own based on some priorities which don't make it into the formal document, but that are commission priorities, so that we can lay them out so that they're readily available as CIP gets worked on.
Okay, well, thanks, I'd appreciate that very much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's good. All right. So it's first Thursday of November for this. All right. Are we 7 PM or 6
Yeah,
PM? still?
first Tuesday.
First Tuesday, so we're doing it before council.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
at 6.
mhm.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Informational items, number 9 and A is recreation report.
Sure. And Vicki, I'll go ahead and start off with the 2 items, and then if you wouldn't mind just taking on the programming, we'll go from there. So the first update from the Recreation Department is in regards to COVID testing. COVID testing has been expanded, so it is now available 3 days a week. It's available Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Testing is conducted by COVID clinics, and it is strongly recommended that any community members who wish to get tested to pre-register. To pre-register, you simply go to covidclinics.com/Cerzuti Park, and you can obtain free testing. They do have an array of different services, paid services, but the most popular seems to be the free testing there. Following that is going to be an update on Ojai Day. So we are going to be hosting Ojai Day Saturday, October 16th from 10 to 4 in Libby Park. So this year's event is going to be a scaled version of past years. Vendor applications are now available at the Ojai Day website and are due by Friday, September 10th. Thus far, in addition to that, we are also, the city's also hosting a special poster competition. So this poster competition this year is going to be tied into the city centennial, where the artists will not only be recognized at a city council meeting, but will also go ahead and receive a $250 prize. Applications and guidelines for the special poster competition are available on the city's website by visiting ojai.ca.gov. Additionally, anyone who may be interested in participating in the special poster competition can reach out to me. I'm happy to go ahead and answer any questions. I can be reached via phone, 805-646-5581, extension 301, or via email. My email luis.gomez@ojai.ca.gov there. And so that's our update for in reference to COVID as well as Ojai Day. Vicki, would you be so kind to provide an update on programming?
Definitely. So we did a lot of contracted specialty camps for the summer, because that way most of them are outdoors. We could social distance the children, and they went really well. So during July, we had 6 contracted specialty camps, 3 surf camps with enrollment of 13 for 1 week, 11 for 1 week, and 6 in the last week. 1 dance camp that had 11 enrolled. 2 Lego camps that had 11 and 16 enrolled. And then during August, we had 7 contracted specialty camps. 1 was our soccer camp that had 24 enrolled. 2 surf camps that had 10 enrolled in the first one and 5 in the second one. 1 dance camp that had 14 enrolled. And then a Bravo Music and Arts camp that had 27 enrolled. And then we ran 2 science camps as our last camps, and we had 17 and 15 enrolled in those. And now we're working on our adult softball league. It started on August 16th. We have 5 teams that are playing, and our staff, Jeff, went out and spent several hours and got those fields ready, and we did our second week last week, and it seems to be going really well. We also have started our rentals for our fields, for our sports. We're renting out to the Ojai Valley Youth Volleyball League, AYSO soccer, and then there's another individual soccer league that's using the fields. And we're working on getting a new Jedi arts class. It's ninja and Jedi training put together. He's currently a contractor, or a business that is renting our field space due to COVID, and we're kind of encouraged him to run through us after he's done. And now we're working on a new pottery class. We've joined with Fire Sticks Pottery, and they're going to start running programming through us, and we actually just put it online, and they've already got 6 enrolled, which is really nice. And then with the surf camp that went so well, we're working on an after-school surf program. We're working out the details now to go ahead and get that going, just for 1 day a week or 2 days a week, just to get the kids out and actually doing something. And then we're working on getting horseback riding lessons back. Our instructor doesn't have interest in coming back. She's doing private lessons now, and so we're working with another company and trying to get that in motion. And then our gymnastics staff connected with the cheer instructors from Nordhoff and Matilaha, and we've created a strength, flexibility, and tumbling for cheer class to help the cheerleaders build the skills they need to perform. And that way we're helping the ones from Matilaha be ready and be stronger by the time they hit Nordhoff. And we ran this last session, and we had 24 kids enrolled with 2 separate classes. And then this session, unfortunately, with school starting up, they're not able to participate right now, but we're working on getting some Sunday clinics put together to get those back in there. And then our tennis instructor has brought back the Quick Start program for the 4 to 5-year-olds, and it started on August 13th, and she currently has 5 enrolled. And we're also bringing back our social skills, which is geared primarily towards non-typically developing peers, but open to everybody. And it'll start on September 7th, and it's a drop-in basis. And we've reached out to our Mandarin instructor, and we've got that scheduled to start September 9th for the adults and September 8th for the youth. And we're starting brand new theater classes. So on September 10th, Drama Explorers for ages 7 to 9, and we currently have 5 enrolled for that class. Young Actors, which is geared towards 9 to 10-year-olds, and we have 4 enrolled for that class. And then a Say What improv class for the 11 to 14-year-olds. And we currently just have 2 enrolled for that, but it still has time, and it's something we just really got together finally. Some of these classes, we really just put them out and just started opening them. And we have a new art instructor, and she started doing a drawing and painting with animals, and it started on August 18th, and she currently has 7 enrolled, which is pretty good. And then Richard Sinnott is running some of his ghost hunting and storytelling classes. And he's going to be running a Haunted Ojai Valley Ghost Band on September 18th. And I believe that's my entire programming. Any questions?
That's incredible. I'm so impressed. You guys are doing a great job. That's
So fun.
a lot.
Yeah, we're definitely busy making programming available for our community members. And as I mentioned, it's something that I couldn't have done without staff. So again, I'd just like to thank not just Vicky, but all of our recreation staff for all their hard work. And it's something we'll continue to go ahead and do to make available for our community.
Luis, I have to apologize. I called you James more than once.
That's okay.
Forgive me. That was awful. I apologize.
That's okay.
As far as the COVID, things change. We have always had the recreation brochure, and things have moved at paces that have made it more challenging to have a brochure. So things have moved more to moving on there digitally. How, in the future, do we think we're going to move forward with letting schools know about what's happening? Because I hear these things and I wonder, does everybody know what's really happening? Because it's quickly changing. And what's the thoughts on how we're going to do that? Because we may be at a point where the brochure is less helpful and we're not so locked to timing of only starting things at one day at one time, because we've already, that's been thrown out the window whether we wanted to or not. So I was just wondering what the thoughts are.
Sure. One of the things that we are doing is we are actually moving more to a digital format. We are actually announcing these programs on social media. We've actually joined, the Recreation Department has joined a couple different Facebook pages. As you may know, the community, there's about 5 or 6 different community pages, and those community pages are about 20,000 members or so. So one of the things that we've done is we've joined those recently, and so we constantly do posts with different programs, highlighting different programs which are available. So that's one of the things that we're doing. We're also doing advertising on Channel 10. But I don't think that we're fully ruling out the brochure. That's still an option, but because things are kind of changing, it's a little bit difficult to commit to something, and then different orders get put into play, and then just kind of stop everything.
It's a big expenditure, so I think it's a time to be thoughtful about whether that's the right place to spend the money. But specifically the schools, I know that they have their own system internally that's digital. Is there a reach to them to help promote those things which are aligned with?
Not particularly through the school systems. One of the things that we are working with is Jamie Fleming over at the Chamber of Commerce. He has now partnered with the Ojai Youth Foundation, and so we are sharing programming through that avenue, but we could definitely go ahead and reach out to the school districts. I think that that's actually a great recommendation. So
I think
that's something that we can
historically we
go
would
ahead and
do postcards or one sheets that would be distributed to every student through the schools, right, Vicki? We would put things together that would highlight upcoming programs, things specific to specific schools even we would highlight. And so I think that would be really good, because now that people are back in school, that hasn't been the way it was, so it wasn't a helpful tool. Vicki, yeah.
We're also listing it on our Ojai Rec homepage.
Yep.
It's anything that we have availability in is listed there, and we've never done that before. It used to have,
Great.
you had to go to the program guide and then you had to search. These are listed completely by youth sports, their youth activities, and then adults. And it makes it really nice. You click on it and it puts it right in your shopping cart. It's just really nice.
That's a huge improvement. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the school connection, now that kids are all back in school, we need to figure out how and what that looks like now. Maybe it's back even to paper to hand it out, because they're all in classrooms now, so we can do that again.
Yeah, that's great feedback, and we could definitely go ahead and look into doing that.
Yeah. But very exciting. I think it's an amazing amount of programming. I know that on again, off again has been very challenging.
It has, and we adapt. We have different mitigation efforts that we've implemented. Just like here in the council chambers, we have plexiglass and frequented visited areas. We have hand sanitizer available, constantly doing sanitation throughout the building. And with the current county health requirements, we do ask that anybody that's visiting the facility to go ahead and wear a mask there. So.
Great. Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Okay.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah.
Of course.
Commission reports and comments.
I am sorry to say I don't have any updates on grants. I haven't looked into those. I apologize for that.
That's okay. That's
We
okay.
did have a little activity, and had a presentation from, oh, now I can't remember the name, basically the playground, the
Oh.
adult fitness
Mhm.
court, that I don't remember the name of, that we did get a report on that. It seems so long ago now because we skipped a month.
Yeah.
But we did have a presentation and look at that, and it is something that possibly in the future might be a great addition to one of our parks. They have they put a court in, and then they put all the equipment on there, and it's permanent, and you can go and do a workout, and they provide workouts via an app if you're interested. So I don't think it's anything that's coming in the short term for us, but it was an interesting presentation.
Yeah. One kind of technical question. Now that we have 4 voting commissioners, can we have a 2-person subcommittee? Because that, when we had 3 commissioners, we couldn't actually meet because our subcommittee would have been
A quorum,
A quorum.
yeah.
Yeah, with 4, I don't foresee an issue with it. One of the things that I'll go ahead and do is double check with our city attorney, just make sure that we're on the clear. But I don't foresee any issues right offhand, but I'll look into it and I'll definitely go ahead and provide an update on that.
okay. Thanks.
And, okay, that's good. For me, I made a future agenda item. We ought to look at our committee work.
Okay.
Because I think we should revisit that, because we have some possibilities and might want to reassign and see who is interested in what. And I would love to see us put the youth committee on there again
Yeah.
as something to talk about. So as a future agenda item.
Okay.
And then Complete Streets Master Plan update is still on there.
No, and if I may, I'll just give a short little update on that. So the reason why it's still on future agenda items is council is scheduled to go ahead and review, and so we wanted to allow them the opportunity to go ahead and review. And if there are any changes, share those changes before I shared an update in case anything changed. I don't want to share information that could potentially change.
They're working on adoption though, right?
Yep. Yeah. So the Complete Streets has been adopted,
Okay.
but they're going to be looking particular into the corridor that we were talking about, if memory serves me right. And again, if there are any changes, I wanted to make sure that they had that opportunity to go ahead and review and provide feedback before I gave an update in case there's anything that changed.
I think as much as anything, everyone's looking for the real high view. Because
Mhm.
I think what we were looking for is a presentation of that, what all has been adopted, not just the specific
okay.
items being worked on. Only because we haven't ever had it.
Okay.
We've discussed it in small pieces, but never had the whole plan kind of summarized and presented,
Okay.
as an overview. So either way is fine, and where timing permits, I don't think it's pressing. I think but it is something that was of interest to commissioners, just to have a better
Sure.
understanding of the plan itself.
Okay.
Ryan, does that represent, okay. And then we're working on the joint commission meeting for
Mhm.
next month. And as part of that, the CIP, just to make sure we have that discussion and look at all of that stuff, all of those materials. Other future agenda items, anything we're,
It kind of fell off of here, but I think dog park was on here in the
possible.
past, so it might be good to keep on our radar.
so just maybe put a bullet with it on there so that it stays on there? I don't know
Yeah.
that we're looking to bring it forward at this point.
Yeah, I think that, and also dog policy or
Yeah,
you know, in city parks.
so we have it captured and
Yeah.
it sits
Yeah,
there until
it's
we're
just
ready.
on there, yeah.
And the other thing for me to bring forward is we had some loose numbers on the cost of lighting at the skate park per year,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping to get that back with more detail and in a report form,
Okay.
with an understanding of what that cost is to run those lights.
Skate park.
And if I can make a request, what we actually are spending, and even if they ran every day, what that expenditure would look like too.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I could definitely work with our IT technician, James Hahn.
I think we had part of it, but it never came back in like a
Sure,
written
like a written format.
yeah, so we could all look
Okay.
at it. All right. Anything else from anyone? Okay, we will adjourn our meeting at 6:49. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you for coming, Vicki. It's very exciting to hear about all that's going on.
I don't know what to buy you guys.
No, yeah.